Thank you for the introduction, and I'd like to share with you. Can I share the screen with you?
Definitely.
Yes.
See? Yes. Here we are. So before we go to the Elvis Reefer warehouse that I'm going to have here and to try to show how this connects with airport LISCONT, let me tell you that yes, I start in '89 in LISCONT in the container terminal in Lisbon, and someone asked me now, do you believe in the project? Of course I believe in the project. I born here in this container terminal, fighting to make the terminal competitive, and I think now is the moment, more than ever. This is the moment to make it work. Why? Because we have the necessary investment. We have these new cranes that are the state of the art. I almost cried when I saw the new cranes here in Lisbon. We have been waiting for these cranes in the last 30 years. So we have this huge investment in the terminal, and the world is changing again, creating the opportunities to bring new service to the terminal. In the last 3 years, as you all know, the vessels were fully booked. There was no space to have new calls, new ports, new adventures, trying to have more services in the terminals, but it's changing again. The vessels are not fully booked any longer. The freight costs are coming down. So now is the moment to make this thing happen and bring LISCONT again to an important role in not only in Portugal, but in the European scenario of logistics. So my role in this activity has been always outside of the gates. Okay, this part of the equation is solved. We have an efficient terminal in terms of loading and discharging containers. With new cranes, you can aim to do 120 moves per hour. That's great, but we need to think further outside the gates to do logistic models that allow the cargo to go in and out in efficient way. I think airport there is the airport says that they are game changer, and yes, they are. There is a completely new vision to deal with the terminal, to promote the terminal, to manage the terminal. In the past, the terminals used to think about their relations were exclusive than with the carriers, and in this new world, this completely changed. It is important to create a community in Lisbon that must include all the stakeholders, from the freight forwarders, the customs brokers, Port Authority, and also the representatives of the local carriers. All these people must be aligned to make sure that the cargo can go in and out very efficient. It's not for the final end user. It's not important the number of moves that you can do per crane. It is important if we can deliver the containers in the terminals with no waiting time. It is important if we can pick up the container when it is discharged and do the custom clearance in 24 or 48 hours and don't have to wait for a long time period to pick up the cargo. These are the things that need to be improved, and I think Diogo with this team is working in this to make this happen and to make this community works and try to solve all the problems that the cargo face to go in and out of the terminal. So in a terminal like Lisbon, and that's why it's important to have this problem solved. We have this problem of being a urban terminal. There is a city behind the terminal. So the space here is limited by the city, like we all know. So this is why important to look for logistics models that allow the cargo to flow out of the terminal in a due time. This project that Carlos Correia show of Castanheira do Ribatejo, it's fantastic to use barges to take the cargo out from here like a depot. It's fantastic. And what I want to show you, it's how we have been cooperating from Transitex and from Elvas with Ilport LISCONT since the beginning. We start this terminal in 2005. Let me see if I'm able to move the slides. Okay, this is what we have done in Elvas is a terminal that we start in 2005, and in 2005 the main idea of the terminal was to bring the Spanish cargo, the cargo from Extremadura, Western Spain, through Lisbon, through the Atlantic ports in Portugal. We have done this very successful. In 2005, we were in the beginning. We bring the first container from Spain in '96. It was an adventure to pick up a container in Spain and bring it through a Portuguese port, because it was usually even the carriers used to think that Spanish cargo was supposed to be loaded in the Spanish ports and Portuguese cargo in Portuguese ports. So it was a difficult work in the beginning to start to move to change the way people used to think and start bringing cargo from Spain to be loaded in Portugal. So we have done this very successful, and the terminal since 2005 till now we move more than 250,000 TEUs mainly through Lisbon. What is the idea of the terminal? The idea of the terminal is to do all the operations that are not supposed to be done in LISCONT, in the terminal here, because it took time. The cargo needs to be there for a long period, or needs space to be moved. In this terminal, we can do depot, cross-docking, custom clearance, all other inspections that are supposed to be done with the cargo for imports and exports. And also we are working with the Janela Única Logística to be connected with the terminals and all the other stakeholders that take part of the logistic chain. In the last year, we had to the terminal a reefer warehouse that allow the terminal to receive reefer cargo from the ports, direct to the ports in transit, and all the inspections, phytosanitary and so on, is done here in this reefer warehouse that we have here. Why is this important? Because the fresh fruit is one of the trades that grows more in the world. People, as you know, people are used to eat all kinds of fruits during the 12 months. It's not important any longer when is the time that you can eat whatever, grapes, we have grapes the 12 months, not only in the summer, it's always. So we need to move this fruit from the south hemisphere to the north, and in front, the ones that developed these models before everybody was Rotterdam. Most of the cargo till today, not most, but an important, we have done the study this month, and 30% of the fresh fruit arriving in Portugal still came through Rotterdam, because they have all the facilities, all the necessary services to provide to the final end user, to make him trust and bring the cargo through Rotterdam. So these are the things that we are working on to make logistic models that work and can be presented to the consignees, to the carriers, and make them believe in the project, and that we have all the solutions to make the cargo come through here. So this is basically what we are doing. We start this project in the summer this year, 2022. Almost 250 containers done in 1.5 months with fresh fruit coming from the south hemisphere. We expect to do much more in the next season, and most of all, we expect to be an important partner to Lisbon terminals, to make them be more competitive and be able to bring new services to Lisbon. I think with this kind of projects, supporting the investment that is being done here in Lisbon, we have all the conditions to say that the future will be beautiful here in Alcântara. And I think this is enough to the first words, not to take more time from you, and be available to answer to any questions.